I'm going to talk about my experience with failure. For context, I have a PhD in clinical psychology, which I got straight out of undergrad. Also a college professor, and I just got tenure, yay! And I have my own private practice where I see clients as a clinical psychologist. So I am a small business owner, and I do all of this while being married and having a toddler. So it's a lot. So by many traditional metrics, I am successful, but I have experienced so much rejection on the way to where I am now. I want to talk about this because rejection can feel really, really scary, and I hear from students all the time that they don't want to apply to work in this lab, they don't want to apply for grad school, they don't want to apply for this job because they might get rejected. Well, of course, rejection sucks. It is so painful. It is also truly an inevitable part of life. Even if you are the best person in the field that you're wanting to go into that has ever lived, you will still get rejected sometimes, and that's okay. So here's some of my rejections. When I applied to grad school, when I was an undergrad, I applied to 13 clinical psych PhD programs. I got interviews at 3 of them. Of those 3, I got an offer from 1 and I got waitlisted at the other 2. That hurts. When I was in grad school, every year I had to apply for practicum, so places where I would go to learn how to be a therapist, and every year I would get rejected from sites. I'd also be accepted to sites, like I had a place to do practicum, but my first year, the director of clinical training at my program had to step in and force someone to take me because I did not get any offers after I interviewed. That one is still kind of sad to think about, honestly. Rejection sucks. I was applying to internship during my final year of my PhD program. I got a pretty good interview rate. I don't remember what it was, but it was like pretty high. But then I matched to my 8th choice internship site, which for context is quite rare. Most people match to their top 3. So that also really sucks. When I applied for professor jobs, I could not even tell you how many I applied for. I mean, I am sure it was over 20. It was a lot. I got interviews at 3 of those places, and I proactively turned down the other 2 after I got the offer from the first place because that was like my dream job, so I didn't need to hear from the other one. So I don't know if they would have rejected me or not. I continue to get rejected as a professor. I will submit research manuscripts for publication and they get rejected. That sucks. Sometimes people just simply don't like me as a professor and as a colleague, which feels like a form of rejection in itself, and that sucks. When I first started my private practice, I had such a hard time getting new clients, and that was really, really hard. So I share all of this to just show that even people who you might consider to be successful have universally experienced their fair share of failure and are probably still experiencing failure because it is an inevitable part of life. And if you don't put yourself out there, you don't give yourself a chance to succeed either.